Hi guys, Adam, Alex, such a pleasure to spend some time with you today at Money20 in Europe and in Amsterdam in particular. How are you doing?
Very good, excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure, yeah. And you, Adam?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Enjoying the show so far.
So far so good, yeah. It's still like 2 days to go, 1.5, so it's still going to be pretty packed. And you've been on stage, Alex, earlier today, right? So how did that go?
Twice actually. I had the pleasure of giving a keynote in the beginning on how to build a global bank. And then there was a fireside chat on late stage funding and global expansion. And it's been great, really. Good crowd, good atmosphere. Love to be here.
Well attended as well?
Definitely. So the keynote it was really packed, and the fireside was getting closer to the lunch break, so a little bit less, but overall very good.
Great. So if we start with you, Alex, sorry, Adam. N26 who became like almost a very well-known name now in the banking industry in the UK. So more than 2.5 million customers, 1,000 I think plus staff, which is staggering already. How did you achieve that then? Could you please tell us more about your story?
Yeah, so our story starts around about 5 years ago when we understood that there was a massive shift in user behavior happening from offline to online to mobile. And we didn't see anything comparable happening in the financial services industry, and in particular in banking. Consumers really lost trust into banks over the financial crisis and over in general the approach of being very not focused on technology, delivering still services through a retail branch network. And that really opened up the door and opened up an opportunity to build a new type of bank. And so we decided with a new approach to banking to build a bank the world would love to use. So we had this grand ambition to, on the one hand side, grow a global business, on the first going pan-European and then global, and on the second creating a delightful user experience, so something where people really talk to their friends about a great banking experience. And we believe to deliver that, it's really focusing on the smartphone as the channel where you deliver the best user experience. And so we are adamantly focused on that with technology and design at the center of everything we do. And at the same time try to deliver that service at a better price, because we have no IT legacy, no bank branch network. And so we're able to pass on a lot of those cost advantages to the customers.
So it's such a pleasure to meet with neobanks, trying to change the world, provide delightful experience and meaningful as well interactions with their customers on the go. So thank you for that and congratulations again. So you've grown pretty quickly, pretty rapidly in the last few years. How did you manage to achieve such success in so little time?
Yeah, it really, when you think about it, when I joined the company almost 5 years ago, we were pre-launch. We were 7-8 people overall. It was a very early stage startup, and as you mentioned correctly, by now we have more than 2.5 million customers in 24 markets. We've raised 500 million in funding and have over 1,000 people on the team. So that really is fast growth. That's something that's also not for everyone. I think it's a big challenge to go through this hyper growth phase where more than 10% of your employee base joins every month. So we're welcoming more than 100 new people again.
Talking about months, right?
By
not
month.
like years.
Yeah, exactly. Did I say per year?
No, I said it.
Okay.
Because the challenge of keeping the culture as well, recruiting the right people, training them and making sure they adhere, they join your vision as well, and which must be a challenge.
No, we focus a lot on that, because obviously if you grow so fast, on the one hand side, 30% of your time goes to recruiting and onboarding. So you always have new people, you open up multiple offices, multiple time zones. So how do you then work remotely? How do you stay in touch? How do you transport the culture there? So a lot of those questions we are looking to address and we are dealing with on a daily basis. But so far have managed to really maintain the spirit, and therefore I think as long as we do that, we should be able to continue on our rapid growth path.
Which is an amazing achievement within 5 years only. So again, congratulations. Adam will be involved in the conversation at last. So last year, I believe you started to partner, so N26 with Form3, right? Could you please talk about that relationship and why you chose Form3, and why you're working with N26? Maybe Adam, can you share some of that?
Do you want to start? Or?
Alex can start then.
I start. I already. Sure. So Adam and Form3 really came onto our radar when we looked at entering the UK market. So in the context of expansion, we were initially in all of the Eurozone, which means from an infrastructure perspective, things are very similar. Yes, you need to change the language in the app. Yes, you need to change the language on the website, have a new customer service. But it's euros, it's SEPA, it's basically same infrastructure. Moving to the UK, suddenly you have British pounds, you have faster payments and BACS, and you have different payment schemes. You don't have SEPA payments, and therefore we needed to look for a partner that could help us to integrate into these payment schemes and help us facilitate payments in British pounds, payments in the payment schemes in the UK, and that's where Adam and the team popped onto the radar, as I think back then really starting out the company as well, and very much resonated with our approach, very much resonated in terms of technology. Was sort of two startups, so to speak, together to set up a collaboration. And yeah, so far we're very happy on our success together in the UK market, and look forward to any future collaboration, Adam.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything on that?
Yeah,
stage,
it's been quite a long journey. As Alex said, I mean, we were working with N26 pretty early on in our lives. So the company is about 3 years old. Been working together for over a year and a half already. That's half
of the lifetime
life.
of the company.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
We've learnt a lot along the way. I think we've learnt a lot from each other, and I think we've trusted each other to deliver against our own sort of strengths. I mean, helping N26 enter the UK is a massive thing for us. We're really proud of the work that we've done together, and we'd like that to go further as well. I think what we deliver in terms of technology and expertise of our people, I think, would be beneficial in other markets. So I think that's what we'd look forward to going forward, is working across the globe as the bank rolls out on its international expansion.
Seems like a sound partnership. I remember, like, not so long ago, then we're saying a few weeks back, I think in London at Innovate Finance, we talked, we shared some thoughts, right? And you said that Form3 is already busy working on technology, or that you can't really talk about it now. So it's all about forward thinking, like at the highest level in terms of, technology and solutions. So that's going to probably benefit N26 further down the road. So
yeah, and we want to grow with our customers. So if our customers see value in what we do today in one market, then the question that we're trying to answer is, how do we best bring that same value into other markets? And when's the best time to do that, and which market should we focus on?
And that's, I'm going to jump on that. So which market? So I've heard that N26 might try to penetrate the US market sometime soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully at some point there's some kind of partnership there. Could you please tell us more about that? The US for N26. How soon? How big?
Yeah. So the US was, in the context of expanding beyond Europe, the first logical step for us. Why is that? I think the US as such is the largest market in terms of retail banking revenues around the world. It's a 300 million plus market size. And in our industry, to become a global player, you don't necessarily need to be in 192 countries, but it's about maybe being in Europe, UK, US, and 5 to 10 more markets. Because you always need to look at how many customers can you serve per license, so to speak, because the effort of entering a market is much larger in our context than it might be when you're opening an e-commerce platform. And therefore the European Union is a fantastic starting point, where really with one license you're able to serve 31 countries, more than 500 million people. But sort of after that, the US was the next logical step. The US is a market that is known for bringing out a lot of innovation in terms of the major players that have built global brands and disrupted other industries. Coming from the US, but on the financial services side and banking side, we haven't seen a truly global, a truly mobile banking player emerge, and that's where we believe we can add a lot of value, and we're looking forward to launching in the next couple of months, actually.
Months?
Yes.
Okay, that's exciting. Hopefully we'll do a catch-up interview sooner than later after you launched. And the US market is fascinating on so many levels as well. So there's already quite a few brands that are trying to disrupt that, but with very limited success. So again, can't wait to see what you're going to do there. Form3, talk about you again. So a huge growth, 300% growth, I believe, more than 50% in terms of workforce, so scaling up the business. How are you dealing with that? So the very challenge of scaling up and maintaining that very high growth and healthy growth in your situation. And N26 did very well in the last 5 years. So
yeah,
what do you do at Form3?
I think it's a tricky one to try and get right, and there's no sort of playbook for it. Every company seems to have tackled growth in a very different way. I think the starting point for us was make sure that we can sustain the level of quality in the people that we hire. So we early on invested in 3 internal full-time recruiters that live and breathe inside the company. They're not external agents, and they're part of the team like everybody else.
Is it 1,200 applicants you processed
yeah, so on the
in
engineers,
like a few months?
On the engineering side, in under 12 months, over 1,200 candidates were reviewed, and less than 25 people offered jobs. And that's really making sure we maintain an extremely high level of quality that brings efficiency to our business, but also something that our customers feel in the way that we deliver value and the way that we work with them. So I think that's the starting point. And with every sort of 6 months, 4 to 6 months, we can effectively double the size of the organisation by maintaining the same level of quality. And so I think that's the first thing. The second thing then is absolute focus, and focus on our customers. So not trying to do too many things in too many customers of too many different types, because in the end we're still learning as well. We want to continually improve and be better at what we do, and not lose sight of who our ideal customer base is, and that starts to manifest as more of a partnership than a supplier-customer kind of relationship. So
it's the challenge, growing up quickly at the same time maintaining the culture, maintaining the level of customer satisfaction, and so on and so forth. So it's great to see 2 organizations growing up so quickly and so very little time. Form3 still, we're in Amsterdam now, right? I've heard that you might be considering or launching a new hub, a European hub, possibly based in Amsterdam. Am I correct, first of all? And if yes, could you please talk us more through that?
You're correct, and the timing is perfect.
Okay,
so
good.
yeah, we've just launched a hub effectively today. So we hired a team. They're located in Amsterdam. Their role is to expand Form3's business across Europe, and build on the customer base that we've got already, and again get really close with our current customer base, and see which other organisations we can help going forward, both banks, established banks, digital banks, and some non-bank financial institutions as well.
And on that note, again, so that's exciting for client success and engagement and everything, having a base in Europe. You're quite well known, I believe, Form3 for the quality of your partnerships in the industry. Again, could you please elaborate on that? Why it's so important and how you manage to build those very, committed and trusted relationships and partnerships?
Yeah, hopefully we are well known for sort of quality of partnerships. Both with customers that can evolve into partnerships as well. So that tends to be something that we followed. There's one of our customers, LHV Bank, is based in Estonia, and we've facilitated their access into the UK. We're now exploring a partnership with them to service customers in Europe. We also have partnerships with Barclays Bank and a number of other banks as well. So we try and find the right balance, helping partners grow their business, which mutually benefits us and growing our business. And then on the technology side, we try and find sort of like-minded technology companies that our customers tend to be attracted to as well. Firms like Mambu, for example, we announced a partnership with them
to a Fintech Power 50 member a year ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much again. Time flies here, and I know you're super busy, both of you. Alex, so then, what's next? So for N26, we talked about the US. Maybe you're going to say that's the US, right? In 2 months' time. Is there anything else you can share with us today?
Yes. So we started an office in Sao Paulo, Brazil, 2 months ago. That's going to be the market after the US that we're focusing on. Very interesting market. At the same time, for us, it's very important to double down in Europe as well. So we're pursuing a global product strategy in general. So that helps our proposition in all of the markets that we're in. So our Spaces feature, which is something where you can organize your money. In the future, you'll be able to share that Spaces with friends. That's one thing that's coming up, and also, US, Brazil, product innovations, a lot of things happening.
Do you see one of those countries being the best to try out new products? What's your view on that? I mean, Europe versus UK versus US versus Brazil, which might be a good opportunity to do so. I don't know.
It could be with certain products that are unique to one market, that we use one of the markets as a test bed. In general, so far, if I talk about shared spaces, that's something that sort of works in all markets. It's not something that you try in France and then do somewhere else, but it's more the traditional financial products that you would test maybe somewhere. So US and Brazil are traditionally more credit focused than Europe is. We're not doing a lot in terms of credit business yet in Europe, so we might start that actually over there, and if it's successful, also bring it to Europe. So I could imagine something like that, but that's probably for the next, 12 months, or after being then available in those markets. Then you have different markets, different macro environments where you can create maybe slightly different products and then bring them to other markets.
Future is bright, and so much to do still, yes, after those last very successful 5 years. Form3 again, what's next? We mentioned Amsterdam as a new hub for Europe. Is there anything else you can share today, Adam?
Focus is really important. We do need to decide which international markets we're going to tackle after Europe and the UK, which is where we've really focused for the time being. And we have sort of half a dozen countries that customers are sort of highlighting as considerations. But the real focus, certainly in the next few months, is to get the business in Europe really established, the brand better known, and really to work with more organisations from tier one banks all the way through to FX firms and money service companies. And just make Europe a much more successful market for us.
Sounds like a good strategy. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. We're so proud to have you as the Fintech Power 50 members, and we wish you all the best with the new endeavors and new strategies internationally here, US and Brazil. So thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Adam. See you soon in London or anywhere in the world. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Good.
Yeah. Cheers.